Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pioneer Field at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex on the campus of Volunteer State Community College, where there is doubleheader action, Lord willing, and it doesn't rain too hard today. Here on a Saturday in September. What else could be going on but fall baseball? Pioneers playing their fourth game of the fall, and the second junior varsity squad that they will play this fall after playing 3 games against the Cumberland University junior varsity squad. Today's matchup against the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders. Come down from Columbia, Kentucky. Brought their junior varsity squad. We have threats of rain today. Don't think it'll be too hard. It's not on the weather app that I've looked at. It's not indicating a lot of rain is going to come down, but we might have some issues here for the beginning part of Game 1. 2 7-inning matchups are scheduled here on this Saturday of college baseball. Let's get to the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups, and they are the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups because of a huge donation by the dealership right across the street from Vol State campus. Brand spanking new scoreboards put out there in left center field here at Pioneer Field and down at the softball complex and left center field down there as well. And my understanding is 2 brand new basketball scoreboards will be going up in the newly remodeled Pickle Field House right across the parking lot from the baseball field. So thanks to the folks over at Toyota of Gallatin for their support of volunteer athletics. Starting lineup for the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson. Center fielder Caden Davis, tell you a little bit about him later on. He'll be leading off. He has some connection with the Pioneers. Braxton Smith, a second baseman, will bat second. Kason Myers at shortstop hitting third. Grayson Vinsel will hit cleanup, and he'll be behind the plate. Drake Young playing third base, batting fifth. First baseman Jaden Keith will hit sixth. Ben Howard in right field. He'll play left field. I'm sorry. He'll bat seventh in that 7 spot, but he'll play in the number 9 position. That's right field. Kellen Thompson, the DH, hitting 8th and batting 9th. Left fielder Bo Barker on the mound for the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson. Right-hander Jacob Jackson. He will face the Pioneers lineup that looks like this. Leadoff batter is Reggie Cooper playing center field. Right fielder Stephen Bell batting second. And the third member of the outfield, Drew Webster, playing left field. He'll hit third. Brody Melton, the cleanup batter, playing first base. Landon Luderman at third base, batting fifth. Cannon Lewis, the DH, hitting in the 6th hole. Carson Sanders, an extra hitter, will bat 7th as the Pioneers will hit 10 batters again today. Corbin Overbay at second base, batting 8th. Drew Plummer in the 9 hole, and he'll play shortstop today. Lex Falsoni, the lone freshman in the starting lineup, will be behind the plate and bat 10th. And the starting pitcher here for Game 1, where head coach Jim McGuire in his 3rd year at the helm, is Caden Johnson, second-year player for the Pioneers. He took a year off last year and is back for his sophomore year. 6'3", 200-pound left-hander from Huntsville, Alabama. Graduated from Sparkman High School in 2021. He's a general studies major, the son of Joe and Shayna Johnson. He's got a younger brother, Miles, and a granddaddy and Mimi in Gadsden, Alabama, and Big J in Lacey Springs, Alabama, and Nana in Panama City Beach, Florida. 2 years ago, or the spring of 2022, Johnson had 11 appearances, 9 were starts. That was tied for first place on the team, those 9 starts. Had a 4-3 record through 37 2/3 innings. which was second on the squad. Give up 33 hits, 31 runs, 28 were earned, 25 walks, 37 strikeouts. So Caden Johnson is trying to make his comeback here with the Pioneers. And the fall is where that starts. He will go, I would assume, 2 innings, as counting on 14 innings of work today. But the Pioneers have a midweek 9-inning ball game up in Bowling Green at Western Kentucky on Tuesday. Pioneers will take on Southwest Illinois Community College beginning at 5 o'clock. So I'm sure Coach McGuire will throw many of these sophomores or second or third year players up at the 4-year school, the D1 school. So give them a look by coach and any other coaches that may be able to come by. It's kind of a mini showcase. Then the Pioneers will go on the road for the first of 3 showcases this fall. A week from tomorrow on a Sunday, Pioneers will head to Carterville, Illinois, take on Lincoln Trail at John A. Logan Community College, and then Frontier Community College at a place called Rent One Park. First game at 11 o'clock, game number 2 at 4. Then a week after that will be another showcase at MTSU, taking on 2 of the in-state clubs in the TCCAA, Columbia State and Motlow State. That'll be also on a Sunday. Then the following Saturday we'll conclude the showcase series. That'll be down in Millington, Tennessee, near Memphis at USA Stadium. Have another doubleheader down there as well. So full action on the weekends. Not a lot of midweek games. A couple during the fall, but most activity is on a Saturday or Sunday. If you're in the area, then feel free to come on out. Of course, there's no admission charge at junior college baseball games. If there was, you can just tell them you know Devin Thrain. He's got a lot of clout around here on this campus. Medical red shirt. He'll be handling the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard today. He's got the left-handed box that he's working with today. We have 2 left-handed pitchers, medical red shirts. We have DJ Braxton Alexander, who's playing the tunes and the public address announcer here at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex. So you see our umpires and head coaches meeting at home plate. Home plate umpire for game 1 is Johnny Lowry. And for game 2, brother Wayne Seeley. So they came riding up together in Wayne's big old red GMC Denali pickup truck. Wayne, you can't hide money driving around in that big old truck. I know Wayne will be listening to the broadcast. May not get the early part of it, but he's going to check himself out, make sure he's making the calls correctly. So we'll take a quick break because we're going to have the national anthem here before too long, and we'll come back after that. For some reason, YouTube and Twitter do not like music to be played on their platforms. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back for college baseball action on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. And DJ Braxton says,
play ball.
Play ball. 72 degrees, cloudy skies here in Middle Tennessee. Gallatin, Tennessee, about 20 miles northeast of Nashville. So you see the Pioneers, they've taken the field. Drew Webster in left, Reggie Cooper in center, Stephen Bell at right, in right field. Landon Luderman at third, Drew Plummer at short, Corbin Overbay at second, Brody Milton at first, Lex Falsoni behind the plate, catching redshirt sophomore Caden Johnson, a left-hander out of Huntsville, Alabama, Sparkman High School. He will face Caden Davis, Braxton Smith, Kason Myers, first three in the order. Grayson Vinsel, Drake Young, Jaden Keith. Next three in the Lindsey Wilson lineup. And the bottom three, Ben Howard, Kellen Thompson, Bo Barker. We're the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson. A couple hours just up the road into Kentucky, in Columbia, Kentucky. Former Vol State Pioneer Landon Carter, left-handed pitcher, now at LMU, is from Columbia, Kentucky. Played for the Pioneers a couple of years ago and then transferred to Lincoln Memorial last year. And Caden Davis, the leadoff batter for the Blue Raiders, is the younger brother to former Pioneer Noah Davis. He's out of Hodgenville, Kentucky. His grandfather and father are at least two of his family members that are here in attendance. Tim McGuire, his maternal grandfather. I think he still just saw him before the game, and if he's still doing what he was doing a couple of years ago, he's a pastor in Owensboro, Kentucky, where he travels for the weekend to preach there. And Donnie Davis, Caden's father, is also a pastor. I saw him here in attendance as well. So it's good to see the Davises back on the Vol State campus. We'll hear about Caden from time to time when Noah was playing here at Vol State. Now it's great to see the young man playing college baseball himself here at Lindsey Wilson. As he steps in to face Caden Johnson, we are set for some baseball here. And the first pitch is wide of the mark. We are underway at 105 Central. 72 degrees. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Running the show by myself today, Sam Wilson, not here to produce the show. Fastball on that outer half. Johnson ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caden's second appearance of the fall. Had a couple innings worth of work in the first game against Cumberland. And he gets a swing and a miss. Down goes Davis. He had 6 of those in the first game in the 2 innings that
now at bat, number 11.
He was on the hill. So all 7 of the outs that Caden Johnson has recorded have been by the strikeout. Braxton Smith steps in. His family is here. Talked to them before the game as I talked to a couple of the families of the Blue Raiders. And ball's a little bit high as he let that one go a little early. Braxton Smith is a hometown boy for Lindsey Wilson from Columbia. He's a sophomore playing second base for the Blue Raiders. The pitch a little bit up. We don't have heights and weights and a roster that you would normally see in a spring game. There's a called strike. Two balls and a strike, 1 out. Nobody on, just getting started. There's another called strike on the inside corner. Caden is getting dialed in here against Braxton Smith. Pitch a little bit high and outside. We'll have our first Full Count Ministries full count of the day. Sign out there in right center field. White sign says Full Count Ministries. You can get a hold of them at fullcountministries.com as ball 4 lands high and tight. Johnson had 2 of those in the 2 innings that he threw against the Phoenix JV. Something I'm sure he's trying to cut down on. And just not feeling comfortable yet out there on that mound, landing his pitches a little bit high. Left-handed hitter Kason Myers, a shortstop, steps in there. He looks about 6'2". I'm going to go 195. Breaking pitch to the left-hander in there for a called strike. When Johnson's going well, that breaking pitch will be a knee buckler to a left-handed batter. Johnson loud looking for a ground ball. Low and away, and Falsoni able to make a stab and catch that one. Lex Falsoni behind the plate, the only freshman starting for head coach Jim McGuire from Smyrna, Tennessee, Stewart's Creek High School. There, he got him picked off. Throw to Melton, and Braxton Smith will be picked off. And if you're a scorekeeping nut like I am, I have learned from a scorekeeping friend of mine that not only is that a pickoff, it's also a caught stealing if he takes off towards second base. I didn't even, let's see. Let's get him off there. We still have a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And now 2 outs. Strike called, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kason Myers, is now batting with nobody on and 2 out. I didn't think you could have a pickoff and a caught stealing at the same time. That ball hit Myers in the right on the knob of the bat. It may have clipped a little bit of his hand. Although if it did, he sure is taking it like a man. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with Grayson Vinsel, the catcher, on deck. Normally you see the catcher, he's still got his shin guards on. There's a breaking pitch. Caden Johnson was walking it off. I would have been too on that pitch, but Johnny Lowry says it must have been a little bit high. Good group of umpires here. Second time that Lowry has been here this fall, and Wayne Seeley's first action, I believe, here at Vol State this fall. Second full count of the inning. Full Count Ministries having their celebration banquet a week from Tuesday at Long Hollow Church. Anybody and everybody's welcome to attend. You can go to fullcountministries.com and sign up for the event. Free dinner. That pitch misses just a little bit outside and snuck out of the glove of Lex Falsoni, and Myers moves on down to first base. The second walk of the inning.
Grayson Vinsel.
Grayson Vinsel steps to the plate. He knew he was going to bat this inning. That's why he didn't put those, or leave his shin guards on, I guess. That one's right down the can. Vincent, another good-sized young man. Probably, I'll go 6'2" as well, but he's a little thicker than Kason Myers. I'm going to go 210. Ground ball too short. Little hop right there that Drew Plummer had to adjust to, and takes his time and makes a throw over to Brody Melton to retire Grayson Vinsel and retire the Blue Raiders in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. There were 2 walks in the inning. 1 was picked off and 1 was a left on base. See Justin McKinney, the athletic trainer out talking to Johnny Lowry right there, and he is not giving any medical advice to Johnny Lowry. He also wears a hat that is the weatherman here. So athletic trainer Justin McKinney was giving the home plate umpire the information regarding any weather that may be around. We might have a delay. If we do, we'll stay on the broadcast and just continue the stream as the game will unfold. We'll take a quick break. Be back for the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to the Ball State Sports Network. Tim Reese back at Vol State, riding solo, producing and broadcasting. We move to the bottom of the first inning. Reggie Cooper will lead it off for the Pioneers. Facing Jacob Jackson, the right-hander, delivers his first pitch. Just a little bit wide. Reggie Cooper, another creaker, Stewart's Creek, and he swings and misses. Reggie and Lex Falsoni and Gage Hoover, the three players from Stewart's Creek High School. Reggie, a transfer from Cleveland State. The other two, true freshmen. Breaking pitch low and away. All State played the Cumberland JV 3 games, a doubleheader last Saturday and a single 9-inning contest on Wednesday, winning 2 of those 3 games. Lost game 1 as Cumberland came back with 6 runs in the top of the 7th inning to defeat Pioneers 9-7. And the Pioneers laid the wood 22-1 in game 2. First batter that Jacob Jackson faces, he runs to a full count. Another full count, Ministries full count. Josh Carmen, the director of baseball operations for the Full Count Ministries, also an assistant coach at Trevecca Nazarene University. There's a full count first pitch, foul ball off the bat of Reggie Cooper. Reggie 1 for 4 in the 2 games he's played thus far. A double, run scored, a walk, 2 RBIs. Excellent defensive outfielder, runs well. Head coach Jim McGuire looking for him to get on base and score a lot of runs. He will get on base to lead this ball game off. Draws his second walk of the fall.
Now batting, number 22, Stephen
Cooper,
Bell.
6'2", 200-pound sophomore from Smyrna, Tennessee. Stephen Bell, another transfer. He's also a sophomore. Swings it from the left side from Ravenwood High School. Transfer from Alderson Broadus University in West Virginia. He drives one into center field. That'll get down. Base hit. Caden Davis, he's up with it quickly, and the throw, it's cut off. Reggie Cooper with a good throw probably would have been toasted cheese, but he was rounding. He was just, I think, rounding second base as that one hop got into Davis's glove. And that's a base hit, putting runners at the corners, brought to you by Line to Line. Stephen Dotson, Line to Line, provided netting and padding in front of the dugouts and surrounding the bullpens last fall. Stephen Bell now 3 for 5 in the now 2+ games that he's played. Brings Drew Webster to the plate. Fastball misses up. Webster, sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee. Christ Presbyterian Academy, CPA. Playing left field. Pitch in there for a called strike. Thanks for joining us today on the Vol State Sports Network. Find us on YouTube, Twitter. You send in a chat, I probably will see it. There's a drive down that left field line. That's down. 1 run will score. Reggie Cooper is waving on Stephen Bell, but Bo Parker, the left fielder, gets it before it gets to the fence. That will be a run-scoring double. And the Framework Athletics first run of the game scored by Reggie Cooper, driven in by Drew Webster. His second double of the fall. Back-to-back hits off of Jacob Jackson. Framework Athletics, where the Pioneers and Lady Pioneers train when they can't get on the ball field.
13, Brody Melton.
Thanks to Zach Duke and Ryan McDuffie over at Framework Athletics for sponsoring Vol State baseball. First 3 have reached. Now Brody Melton's turn. Vincel trying to frame that one unsuccessfully. Brody Melton from Tullahoma, Tennessee, sophomore. 2 for 5 in the fall so far. He drives one high up in the air. It's in shallow center field. Caden Davis comes on, makes the catch, and the throw will hit the cutoff man, first baseman Jaden Keith. It's the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting, number 5, Landon Luderman.
Landon Luderman steps in. Left-handed hitting sophomore, third baseman. With runners at second and third, 1 run in. Looks at a breaking pitch down at his feet. Luderman 1 for 7, 2 games that he's played. Scored a run, walked twice. The throw down to third base. A little slow on that release, and Stephen Bell, no problem getting back to the bag. Luderman, 5'10", 190 pounds, sophomore from Knoxville Catholic High School. General Studies major, the son of Daniel and Shannon Luderman. Back for year number 2 with that big bright orange bat. Got in 20 games a year ago, 12 hits, including a double, 10 RBIs. Mostly in the DH spot, as Carter Vrabel was pretty much entrenched in that third base position. 3-0 pitch is driven out the left center field. That will get down for extra bases. And 2 more runs will come across for the Pioneers. Landon Luderman says, I'm not here to walk, I'm here to drive in runs, and he does exactly that. Nice hitting by Luderman as that fastball was outside. He just went with the pitch and drove it into the gap.
Number 30, Cannon Lewis.
So 2 doubles in the inning. And 3 runs have scored. Cannon Lewis will step in. Local product from Beach High School here in Sumner County. Nice block there by Vinsel. Transfer from Maroon State Community College is Cannon Lewis. 6 foot, says 175 pounds. He looks a lot thicker than 175. He's pretty well put together. Yeah, this other one says 215. I think he might have. I got the 175 from him, I'm pretty sure. We won't change that right now on my sheet. That one's driven out to right field. That might get down, and it does, and bounds toward the foul territory. Ben Howard picks it up. Another hit for the Pioneers, putting runners back at the corners. Brought to you by Line to Line. So 4 hits in the inning, 2 singles, 2 doubles.
Coming to the plate, number 20, Carson Sanders.
Carson Sanders, the son of 2 Army dentists from Clarksville, Tennessee. Also the team barber. Swings at the first pitch, taps that one toward the visiting on-deck circle. Jared and Jill Sanders, Dr. Jared and Dr. Jill Sanders. Both colonels up at Fort Campbell. Has a younger sister named Claire. Throw over to first base. Diving back is Cannon Lewis. Carson, a 5'11", 200-pound freshman, plays first base. He's an extra hitter today here in this 10-batter lineup. Another pitch in the dirt, blocked by Grayson Vinsel behind the plate. Jacob Jackson struggling here in the. We got 1 strike on the batter there, Mr. Thrane. 2 balls and a strike. Now 3-1 count to. I'm sorry, I think it's actually 2-1. 2-1. Coach McGuire down at third base making sure that count is correct. Now we have 3-1. Runners at the corners, 1 out, 3 runs in. We are in the bottom of the first inning. Scheduled for 2 7-inning contests here. On that outside corner as it whispers at it on the way by. I'm sure Carson is fine with a full count. Ministries full count. Saw Carter Waltz, who's behind home plate. He's got him a nice tight haircut provided by Carson Sanders. Pretty close to the same pitch, Carson. You better be careful the next time. That just called ball 4. That is the second walk of the inning.
Number 2,
Close pitch right there, but the bases are now loaded for Corbin Overbay, the 8th batter to come to the plate here in the bottom of the first. Landon Luderman at third, Cannon Lewis at second, Carson Sanders at first base. And that one gets yanked outside. Overbay, a sophomore from Sevierville, Tennessee. 5'9", 170-pound business major. Son of Drew and Heather Overbay. Younger brother to Jensen. Got in 13 games a year ago. 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. Corbin's played in 2 of the 3 games already. He's 1 for 7. Scored a run and walked. Looking to do some damage right here. First baseman Jaden Keith is playing in on the grass. Breaking pitch misses low and away. Drake Young down at third base playing even with the bag, and middle infield at double play depth. Bo Barker in left field is playing deep. Caden Davis straight away in center. Here's a ground ball in the hole. Off the backhand attempt by Kason Myers. And that will sneak into left field for a 2-run single by Corbin Overbay, driving in 2 more runs. Sanders moves up to second base. And the Pioneers lead 5-0. And we'll have a timeout called as one of the JV coaches, not the head coach, Jay Vincent, but an assistant for him, as the umbrellas are coming out here in the bottom of the first inning. We've got a little sprinkle. Devin, is it sprinkling or is it raining?
Sprinkling.
Sprinkling? My mom says it's waning.
Trying to play baseball.
Uh-oh. Some young ladies did not come prepared, did they? They are leaving to go find their umbrellas in the car. Braxton, do you need to go help those young ladies? Devin thinks he needs some help. So the visit is over at the mound. And Drew Plummer, the 9th batter for the Pioneers, will step to the plate with runners at first and second and 1 out. Plummer from Summit High School. Looks at a breaking pitch down in the dirt. Drew Plummer, a sophomore that can play middle infield. He also gets behind the plate. He looks at a fastball in there for a called strike. .5'11", 165-pound general studies major, the son of Bobby Plummer in Spring Hill and Stacy Plummer in Thompson Station. His older sister, Brennan, who's married to Dylan, and an older brother, Robbie. Poppy and Nana in Franklin, and Papa Mike and Nana Sue in Hendersonville, and Meanie in Old Hickory, as Plum gets one just over the outstretched glove of the second baseman. And that will roll all the way to the wall. Plummer's not going to stop at second base. The helmet is off, and he will head first Superman into third base for a 2-run triple. Drew Plummer's second hit of the fall drives in 2. And this is not the performance that Jacob Jackson had anticipated when he woke up this morning, but the Pioneers
Stepping to the plate, number 15,
are putting it on the Lindsey Wilson JV squad here in the bottom of the first inning. A touchdown, an extra point have now given them a 7-0 lead. And Lex Falsoni steps in. Catcher, Stewart's Creek High School. Falsoni 1 for 4 in the fall. Pitch on the outside corner called strike. He has a double, a walk, a run scored, and an RBI in the 2 games that he's been behind the plate for the Pioneers. There's a ground ball up the middle. It will get through into center field. Second baseman Braxton Smith unable to come up with that one. And a RBI single for Falsoni drives in the 8th run of the contest. And we'll have a second mound visit. Jay Vincent, the head coach, will come out and we'll have a new pitcher. So let's take a break. Tell you about as much as we can, probably name only, of the new pitcher when we return on the Ball State Sports Network. New pitcher for the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders, number 48, Noah Fain. He will pitch to the top of the order. Reggie Cooper, who led off this inning with a walk. Runner at first, 8 runs in. We're back to the top of the lineup for Vol State. Breaking pitch misses outside. Cooper walked. Stephen Bell singled. Drew Webster doubled. Brody Melton flew out to center field. After that, it's been Luderman with a double, Lewis with a single, Carson Sanders walked, Overbay single, Plummer triple, and Alex Falsoni single up the middle. Now a 3-0 count to Reggie Cooper. 7 hits of the first 10 batters. There's a 3-0 swing and a foul tip. Landon Luderman had a 3-0 hack and doubled into left center field. Breaking pitch misses outside. Reggie Cooper will draw his second walk of the inning.
Stepping to the plate,
Second by 2 different
Stephen
pitchers is
Bell.
Jacob Jackson. Through to 10 batters, retired 1. Stephen Bell steps to the plate. 1 out, 2 on. That pitch will get by the catcher. It was low and inside. All right, 2 pitchers. Wild pitch or a pass ball right there? What do you guess? Pass ball. So we have a. Just because it touches the glove of the catcher doesn't mean that. Trying to teach some scorekeepers up here. Well, it's up for interpretation is what it actually is. So, I mean, it's, I would not argue with anybody that says one or the other on that one. As a former catcher, I think he should have had it. So I'm going to put a pass ball down. Popped up in the infield. Drake Young comes into the pitcher's mound and makes the catch. We're the second out.
Now batting, number 7, Drew Webster.
Drew Webster will step in. He doubled down the left field line. And he gets another curveball. I believe that hit that he had was on a breaking pitch. Is that right, Devin? Is that your recollection?
Yes, sir.
He hooked it right over the third baseman's head as that one got down in the corner. He drove in a run. Framework Athletics' first run of the game. Pioneers batting around here in the first inning. 13th batter to come to the plate. There's a tapper in front of the plate, and that'll be a tough play. Vincel will come out, and 1 run, 2 runs are going to score on the infield single by Drew Webster. Great hustle by Reggie Cooper to come and score all the way from second base. You won't see that very often, folks, but Drew Webster
Stepping to the plate,
on a ball that
number
went
13,
35 feet possibly, he gets 2 RBIs. He's got 3 in the inning. Wayne Seeley coming over to talk to Jim McGuire about something. Not sure what that would have been about.
stepping to the
2
plate,
more
number
runs.
13, Brody Melton.
And the Pioneers have put a 10 spot on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. Had 12 in that 22-1 game last Saturday. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. Brody is in the unenviable position of trying to make sure that he does not make 2 outs in an inning. That is a tough position to be. You think there's some pressure when you bottom of the 7th, last inning, and the game winner or the tying run or whatever's on third base. You go up there having made 1 out in the inning, and then you get up there with 2 outs, and everybody else has got hits or walks. Tell me that's not pressure? Folks, that's pressure. Now, that's not pressure you got to provide for your family, but, you know, and you don't have any prospects of a job, and, you know, you're sick and all that kind of stuff. But for a baseball player in college, it's not nothing. 2-2 pitch, breaking pitch misses outside. We'll have another full count Ministries full count. With 2 outs and a runner at first base, Drew Webster, who had that smash down the first base line and beat it out. He'll be going on the pitch. Except right now, he's going to go back to first base. Noah Fain on in relief of Jacob Jackson, who goes a third of an inning. Gives up 7 hits. Popped up down the left side. That probably will be in foul territory. Over is the shortstop, the last man, Kason Myers, to get into the area, and he comes in and makes the catch for out number 3. Brody has to wear that one, but hopefully he will come out of it. And he was 2 for 5 coming into today's game with a double and a triple. 3 runs scored, walk, and hit by a pitch. So he's been on base. Hopefully he'll move on past that and know that he's going to get back up to bat again. 10 runs. If you're looking at the Toyota Gallatin scoreboard, it looks like there's 0 in that first inning, but you look over to the total runs, 10 runs on 9 hits in the first inning. Looks like the rain is stopping and starting a little bit here in Gallatin, Tennessee. We'll be right back on the Ball State Sports Network. Tim Reese back at Vol State. We have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Number 26, Noah Eatman, on here for inning number 2. He will face 5, 6, and 7. Lindsey Wilson lined up. First pitch swinging. Drake Young out to right field. Stephen Bell drifts a few steps to his left and makes the catch for out number 1. Drake Young from Bowling Green, Kentucky, a freshman. His family is here. Young sister Addie, sitting down here, said that she was drugged to the ball game by her mom to see Drake Young play third base. Good to have the Young family here, including young Addie. inning goes 1 ball, 1 strike to Jaden Keith, the first baseman. If Jaden Keith's family's here, they weren't here in time to get information provided to this broadcaster for this broadcast. Swing and a miss. Come early, you might just get your name called, just like Addie did. She was a little shy, though. I bet you for game 2, I could get a little more information out of young Addie. If she can stick through this rain. There is strike 3 called, and Eatman pounds that outfield or outside zone. Gets a backwards K, so 2 up, 2 down. Not exactly what Lindsey Wilson was hoping for.
Now batting, number 42,
Caden Johnson goes an inning.
Howard.
No hits, no runs, 2 walks, a strikeout. As he gives away to freshman or sophomore Noah Eatman. Ben Howard steps in, the right fielder, wearing number 42 on the front of his blue jersey. Pitch in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. On deck, Kellen Thompson. Foul ball off the screen, and Kellen Thompson will pick that one up. He's from Horse Cave, Kentucky, a freshman in the DH role today. His family is here. If you hear me say that Lindsey Wilson player is from a certain place, that means I talked to a family member before the game. Let's get the right count on there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on, top of the second inning. 10-0, that's the score, folks. 10 runs in the bottom of the first by the Pioneers. And there is strike 3 called with that breaking pitch by Noah Eatman, the second-year player for Vol State, 6'1", 205-pound right-hander from Parrish, Florida, general studies major. Dave and Monique Eatman, his parents. I got to meet them last spring. He has a papa in Englewood, a Gigi in Parrish. He was on the mound for 14 appearances this past spring for Vol State. Had 1 start, a 3-1 record. Also had a save. 28 innings worth of work. Finished the season with a 3.86 ERA, did Noah Eatman. So fine 1-2-3 inning for Noah. And we will move to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Move to the bottom of the second inning. Noah Fain back out on the mound for the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson Junior Varsity. He came on in relief and retired 2 batters, facing 4. He'll face 5, 6, and 7 in the Pioneer lineup here. Breaking pitch to the left-handed hitting Landon Luderman, misses down low. Pioneers with 10 runs, 8 hits in the first inning, aided by 2 walks. Popped up out to left field line, and what a play. That is Drake Young that made that play from third base. I didn't think he had a prayer of getting to that brick wall down that left field line, but assume that's Addie's big brother. Just made
Number
a
30,
fantastic
Lewis.
play from third base to make an over-the-head catch of the pop-up in foul territory. One up, one down. Noah Fain says this is easy. Cannon Lewis steps in. Lewis dropped a base hit just down the right field line out of the reach of Ben Howard, right fielder. And later came around to score. Count now goes 3 balls and no strikes. Lewis does not take a hack at that pitch on the inner portion of the plate. If he puts one in that spot again, Cannon Lewis is going to come out of his shoes, and he hits a hard ground ball to second. Kason Myers up and over to Keith for out number 2. Cannon Lewis has the only home run of the season so far for Ball State. He played in Game 2, the 22-1
Number 20,
win.
Carson Sanders.
And in the first inning, hit a 2-run home run toward the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard. He's now 1 for 2. Carson Sanders walked and scored in the first. He drives one to left field. That'll get down. Playing it on a second hop is Bo Barker, and 2-out single by Carson Sanders. Got his first hit of the fall of his college career.
Up to bat.
Congratulations,
number 2,
Carson.
Corbin
Playing in
Overbay.
game number 2. Prior to that, he had 2 at-bats. Both were walks. You're batting 1,000, son. Corbin Overbay steps in. He singled up the middle. There's been a changeup right there by Fain that misses down. Rain back as you see the umbrellas come up. It's almost like choreography. Everybody gets those umbrellas up. 2-0 pitch catches the outside corner. Overbay got in 13 games in the spring. Got in a lot of the games toward the end of the ball games. Had 14 official at-bats, 5 hits. One was a double. A couple RBIs, couple walks. Pops that one up on the right side. It's shallow right field. Be a tough play for Ben Howard. And out goes Braxton Smith, second baseman, diving, and he cannot come up with it. And Corbin Overbay will have a bloop double. I'm sure that rain pounding the fielders in the face, as this rain is probably the hardest that we've seen
Now batting.
so far in
Number
this
6,
ball game.
Drew Plummer.
Not making it easy to track that one, but a bloop double down the right field line. Corbin Overbay is now 2 for 2. And a 2-out rally by the Pioneers. Drew Plummer, who tripled in the first, drove in 2 runs. This is just a little bit high. Plummer, former high school teammate of Devin Thrain. Devin, did he catch you? Did he catch you some? He was your catcher?
And my roommates.
Oh, you roomed together while you were in high school?
No.
Oh, he's a roommate now.
Yes.
Okay. The Summit High School, what? Panthers, Redneck, what?
The Spartans.
I'm sorry.
The Spartans.
The Spartans. There's another one down that right field line. He is vying for another extra base hit. He will get it. One hops the wall in right field. Plummer again losing his lid, but drives in 2 more. 2-out knocks by Carson Sanders, Corbin Overbay, and now Drew Plummer single, double.
Stepping to the plate, number 15, Lex Falsoni.
Plummer went to right center field gap for his triple in the first inning. And here he goes down the right field line. And Lex Falsoni steps to the plate. Breaking pitch misses. We got our pitching crew that's come up to stay dry. You guys need to sit in this seat and move it. Go ahead and put it right there. One ball, one strike, breaking pitch. That'll curve around to a position that, at least a hittable position, I would have said. Called strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Plummer out at second base. 2 outs and 2 runs in. It misses down. Fain retired the first 2 batters, pop out and a ground out. And Carson Sanders with a single to left, Corbin Overbay with a bloop double to right, and Drew Plummer with a line drive double to right field. And that one's popped up in the infield. We'll see if Drake Young will get his 3rd pop-up catch in the ball game, and he will. Brother of Addy makes the catch for out number 3. The Pioneers score 2 on 3 hits, take a 12-0 lead as we head to the 3rd inning. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Number 25, Parker White. 6'1", 195-pound sophomore from Knoxville West High School. General Studies major, the son of Paul White and Carrie Myers, both in Knoxville. Parker's got an older brother, Eli, a younger brother, Tanner, a younger sister, Ellie, and an Owa in Tazewell, Tennessee. Had a terrific freshman campaign in the spring of 23. He had 13 appearances, 12 starts, a 5-4 record, which led the Pioneers in wins. 51 innings pitched, 3rd on the squad, 49 hits, 27 runs given up, 16 walks, 47 strikeouts, 4.06 ERA, which was 6th best in the conference among pitchers that qualified. First pitch from White. They will check down to first base, and brother Wayne Seeley says he did not go. Wayne, I disagree with you. But Mr. Johnny Lowry, I thought it was a strike. But Just my opinion. And you know what? Opinions are like belly buttons. We all got them.
It's false.
I just saw it. Parker White, second team all-conference as he gets a swing and a foul ball off that breaking pitch. Second team all-conference starting pitcher. He's not going to wow you with velo, but somehow or another he misses bats. Change up, breaking pitch, and a fastball. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kellen Thompson from Horse Cave, Kentucky. Swing and a miss. That had a little action on it. Kellen Thompson, a freshman. He's the DH here in Game 1.
Walking to the plate.
His family is here.
Bo Barker.
Bo Barker, the 9-hole hitter, left fielder, steps in. He'll look at a called strike. As rain's still coming down, not as hard now as it was, but the umbrellas are still up. And a square around the bunt. He pulls the bat back. Pitch called a strike. I'm missing my producer up here, as occasionally you see that I'm neglecting that scoreboard. 0-2 pitch, swung on and fouled off. That'll get out of play toward the tree line down the right field and first base side of Pioneer Field at Tim Garrett Baseball Complex. Count remains 0 balls and 2 strikes. White with the fastball, tails back away from the right-hander, but that was a little bit high. On deck, Caden Davis, leadoff batter. 2 have reached via the walk. 1 was picked off, and 1 was left on base in the first. But Noah Eatman with a 3-up, 3-down, 2 strikeout performance in inning number 2. Parker White on for his inning of work. Gets a check swing, and or maybe he didn't get a check swing. Did called out. I don't know if that was from the first base umpire or at the plate.
Now batting, number 7, Caden Davis.
Regardless, 2 up, 2 down via the K. Caden Davis, who struck out in the first, steps in. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Again, the younger brother to Noah Davis, I believe is going to be a senior at Kentucky Wesleyan up in Owensboro. Former center fielder for Pioneers. In 2021, another pitch on the inside corner called strike as Parker White looking to set down the 3. Landon Luderman thought he heard somebody say strike 3. He ran off, started running off the field down at third base, but count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's going to be strike 3 on that outside corner. So Parker White with a 3 strikeout performance in his inning of work. So he sets down 8, 9, and 1 in his 1 inning that I'm sure that he'll go out for another Summit Concrete call to the bullpen in the next inning. We'll take a break. 12-0, the Pioneers lead after 2.5. Demarie's back at Vol State. We moved to the bottom of the third inning and just now looked at my chats. Probably a couple innings ago, Miss Waldina Johnson. Mimi in Gadsden, Alabama. Caden Johnson's grandmother. It's great having you all back with the Pioneers. We missed you last year and happy to see Caden on the squad this year, which means his family comes along for the ride. Mimi used to send me emails back when instead of the chat we used to have. What happened there? Ground ball foul down to Coach McGuire, and he gives it the Olay. Getting a bad producer when it's just me producing. Start relying on other people like Sam Wilson and Reagan Smith for the TCCAA tournament last year. Reggie could not hold up, says home plate umpire Johnny Lowry. And the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cooper has walked twice, up for the third time in this ball game. He's going to take one off the back, so he's got 3 plate appearances, still without an official at bat. That's the one you want to take off the back, is the breaking pitch. First hit batter of the ball game.
Now batting, number 22.
Stephen Bell will step to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singled and popped out in the first inning. All-State sent 14 batters to the plate in the 10-run inning. Bell looks at one just above the letters. Played for the Hoptown Hoppers this past summer in the Ohio Valley League. Nearly takes one in the chin. Throw down to first base. And Reggie Cooper back in time. Thinking Reggie might have thought that was going to get by Grayson Vinsel. Stephen Bell, 6'3", 185-pound sophomore from Brentwood, Tennessee. Played in 40 games at Alderson Broadus. Hit .238. See if I can get the right count up there. 2 balls and a strike. Depending on Devin Thrain here. Popped up down the left field line. That'll be a run for Bo Barker. And he will not get there. That will drop just inside the fair line. And putting runners at first and second.
Stepping up to the plate, number 7.
A seeing eye base hit by Stephen Bell. Drew Webster will stand in. Looks like Johnny Lowry might need a rag to clean off home plate. Any brush that he might have in his pocket's probably not going to do any good with the mud that's around home plate now. First pitch swinging Webster. That'll get out of play. MGM Industries, foul ball. We thank Joe Gaskins and Patrick Stewart over at MGM Industries on Freehill Road in Hendersonville for their support of Vol State baseball. MGMindustries.com. Drive down the right field line. That will not stay fair. Laying right in front of the bullpen. The count will go no balls and 2 strikes. Drew Webster, who's 2 for 2. Doubled in the first inning. And got to come to the plate again in the first inning. Hit a little squibber just on the second base side of the area between home plate and pitcher's mound. Runners are going. Throw down to third base, not in time. And a strike called on Drew Webster as he heads back to the dugout. A little bit inside, but you got 2 strikes on you. Got to be protecting there. So Brody Melton steps to the plate
13, Brody
as
Melton.
Bell and Cooper move up on the steal, double steal. Cooper had a great jump, second base. I was thinking that Vinsel might throw down to second, but nobody was covering. So I think he came up originally going to throw to second and then turned at the last second and threw to third. 12-0 Pioneers lead with 10 runs in the first, 2 in the second. Melton looking for his first hit of the ball game. Flew out to center and popped out to the shortstop and made a fine play in foul territory to end the first inning. Noah Fain, one of twins on the Blue Raiders junior varsity squad. Is his other brother, B.A., the other Fain, is it Ethan or what's the other Fain's name? It's on that right side, I think. Ethan Fain. He's not in game one. I would assume he's in game two. Drive to deep left center field. Back goes Caden Davis. He is at the warning track and hauls that one in. Brody Melton just missed that one. You know what I know what that is right there, Braxton. You know why that ball didn't go out? Because he didn't get up and have a chance to make his 8 pancakes and 14 pounds of sausage because he lost his keys this morning. Remember that? He couldn't find his keys.
Landon Luderman.
We had an 8 a.m. discipleship meeting, and he couldn't find his keys, so he didn't have time to make himself a breakfast. He does get an RBI on the sac fly, though. Swing and a miss by Luderman. On the play, Stephen Bell moves up to third base, but I thought that Brody might have got that. He just got under it just a hair. Luderman doubled and popped out. Another nice play by in foul territory was Drake Young. They have 2 yellow stars on plays. That ball will get away from the catcher, and Stephen Bell will lope on home with a run scored on a wild pitch. Vinsel got a piece of his glove on that one, but pretty much wide of the mark there. So no RBI opportunity now for Landon Luderman. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. 14 is now 15 as Landon Luderman just lost that ball up into the pine trees toward the gap. Landon Luderman with a big fly, his first home run of the fall. It's a first home run I've seen Landon Luderman hit in a ball game. That is a powerful young man, and that was almost over those pine trees in right field. And that's what you call, folks, a no-doubter. There was no question off the bat as to where that was going to end up.
Stepping up to the plate, number 30, Cannon Lewis.
And now the only other Pioneer player to hit one over the fence here in the fall. Cannon Lewis, another strong young man. Looks at the first pitch. Called strike. 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits. A hit batter, a sacrifice fly. Lewis will take another strike. That one's inside, and folks, what you need to start thinking about now is it's 15-0 in the third. We need another run on the board up there, Mr. Thrain. High chopper, that will be flagged down by Drake Young. Throw onto first base is not going to be on in time. It pulls Jaden Keith off, and I'm going to give that an infield single. Play would have been close at first base, but I think
Now
if
batting,
it's
number 20, Carson Sanders.
you're not sure, you go ahead and err on the side of a base hit. Pitchers don't like that, but Carson Sanders steps to the plate. He drives one in the gap. That kid can hit, man. At one hops, two hops to the fence. They're going to hold a runner at third base right here, up 15-0. Carson Sanders. Second hit of the ball game, and that ball was roped in the left center field.
Up to bat, number 2, Corbin Overbay.
Sanders, the extra hitter here today from Clarksville High School. Just graduated in May. He's a biology major here. Grandson of Papa and Grandma in Alba, Texas. Pappy and Mammy in Houston, Texas. Corbin Overbay steps in. He's singled and doubled. Driven to right field. That will get down in front of Howard. One run's going to score. They'll hold the other runner. $16-0. Ball State now leads. RBI single for Overbay.
Now batting,
16 hits is what I have, I think. So we got 8. 2, 3, 4. I got 5 hits in this inning. Yeah, 16 hits. Hold up on you can. 17 on the board, but Devin Thrain is learning stuff here with this brand new scoreboard. That didn't take long. He got that corrected. He's becoming a scoreboard guru. Plummer breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Is it 1-1? Is that correct? And there's a balk. He caught a spike. And we'll bring in run number 17. That's one of those you just got to throw the pitch.
That's just making it worse.
Overbay down at second base. Plummer now looking at a 1-ball, 2-strike count. He's tripled and doubled. I think Drew Plummer's looking for a big fly right here. He can get the 3 hard parts of the cycle out of the way. He drills one out to center field, sends Caden Davis back. But he will turn around and make the catch for out number 3. Drew Plummer retired for the first time today. See if I've got enough orange pencil here. I got 5 runs in this inning. So 10 in the first, 2 in the second, and 5 in the third, and 17-0. Vol State now leads with 16 hits. We'll take a break. We'll be right back for the top of the 4th. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for Vol State. Number 19, Trent Miller out of Greenbrier High School, the fourth pitcher for head coach Jim McGuire, 6'4", 225-pound freshman. Greenbrier, Tennessee. Don't have the information regarding his family. He's not sent me that yet. I've asked and I've asked. Apparently he's spending too much time studying or hanging out with his roommates Carter Waltz and Nathan Aguilar. He is on the mound, and the first pitch is inside to Braxton Smith, who walked and was later picked off, caught stealing by Caden Johnson. High tapper down to third base, and that is a fair ball. Luderman gloves and a strong throw to Brody Melton. Down low, but a nice stretch by Brody to retire Braxton Smith. It was a high chopper right on the line. And shortstop Kason Myers steps to the plate. He also walked and was stranded in the first. Fouled. That will get a little bit of Lex Falsoni. He's flexing that right hand. That's not the hand you want to get a foul tip off of. What that tells you is that hand was not protected. Of course, 40 years ago, you taught a catcher to put that right hand behind your back. They don't teach that anymore, but you at least want to get it behind your glove. Fastball, catch that outside corner. Bless you. Breaking pitch misses down low. So Caden Johnson, Noah Eatman, Parker White each went an inning. Now it's Trent Miller's time. That fastball had a lot of tail action to it, but sails high and away. Trent, one of the 25-plus new players on the squad here for Coach Jim McGuire. Now, Kason Myers worked the count full after being down 0-2. Full Count Ministries, a full count, coming off an arm injury surgery. Is that right, Devin? He had Tommy John surgery. He gets a swing and a foul tip into his catcher's mitt, but down on strikes is Kason Myers. So that would have been a full count first pitch foul ball. If you've been with the broadcast before, I used to keep track of full count first pitch foul balls. Not going to do that any longer. Don't think it was really a fan favorite. 0-2 or 2 out. First pitch swinging. Grayson Vinsel fouls that one off. He grounded out to Drew Plummer at shortstop to end the first inning. Looks like Trent Miller's rearing back and throwing that fastball. Doesn't look like he's holding anything back, does it? Not sure how long he's been cut loose by his doctor to go ahead and resume normal throwing, but he doesn't look like he's holding back here at all. It's a swing and a miss. Had a rough outing, his only other appearance. That was in the first game. Came in the 7th inning that ended up being the 6-run 7th inning by the Cumberland JV, as he now gone to a Full Count Ministries full count. Did not retire a batter, did not give up a hit, but walked 2 and hit 1 batter. Ended up giving up 4 runs, only 2 were earned, but 3-2 pitch, another full count first pitch foul ball. That will head toward the maintenance shed down the right field line on the campus of Volunteer State Community College. Coach Jim McGuire in his third fall season. This field has a quite a bit different feel to it now after he's been here. There's a pitch right down the can. Grayson Vinsel was not in agreement with Johnny Lowry, but that sure looked good from here. Definitely over the plate. Don't know, it might have been a hair low, but a 1-2-3 inning for Trent Miller. And everybody rooting for the Pioneers are rooting for Trent Miller from Greenbrier, Tennessee. Have a good outing as a bounce back from a week ago. Pioneers lead 17-0. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Looks like we'll have a new pitcher for the Blue Raiders when we come back on the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese back at Vol State. We are moving to the bottom of the fourth inning as Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson. Number 44, right-hander Spencer Garner on in relief of Noah Fain. It goes 2 2/3 innings. Gives up 8 hits, 8 runs, 7 were earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 home run, and 1 hit batter. The third pitcher of the ball game for Lindsey Wilson, their JV, Spencer Garner. He will face 10-1-2 of the Pioneers lineup, a free-swinging Lex Falsoni. Falsoni 1 for 2. Single drove in a run in the first. Popped out to the third baseman to end the second inning. Swing and a miss on another high fastball. That's 2 that Lex has gone after. On deck, Reggie Cooper. Falsoni starts to go, but he's able to hold up a pitch that nearly hit him in the knee. Full count, Ministries, full count to catcher Lex Falsoni. Here's a full count first pitch foul ball. Rearranges the mask on home plate umpire Johnny Lowry. Voted the best smile of all college umpires. Right there behind the plate. He gives a thumbs up to his partner Wayne Seeley down at first base. Brother Wayne, I think he's a retired, maybe no, not a retired, former member of the military. I believe he was Army as well. Lex Falsoni walks to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. Pioneers with 17 runs, 16 hits.
Now batting, number 36,
Only drawn now. That's the 4th walk of the ball game and a hit batter. So last week he had 22 runs, 12 hits, and that one's driven out to center field. That will get down. Second baseman Braxton Smith and Caden Davis, the center fielder, coming together, but Reggie Cooper will get his first base hit of the ball game. On base all 4 of his plate appearances with a bloop single in the
Number 22, Stephen
center
Bell.
field, putting runners at first and second with nobody out. Stephen Bell steps in for his 4th plate appearance. He's 2 for 3. Fastball misses up. 12 hits in those 22 runs a week ago in game 2, but 15 walks and a hit batter by the Cumberland JV does not help to win a ball game. That's right down the middle. Bell shaking his head, wishing he had taken a hack at that one. Gonna have a pinch hitter coming up for Drew Webster. It looks like Luke Lawson on deck. High chopper up the middle, and Myers will snag on the one hop, step on second, and throw on to first base for a 6-3 double play. Reggie Cooper is
Now batting, number
forced
4,
out
Luke
at
Lawson.
second base. This is Luke, right? Luke Lawson. He is pinch hitting for Drew Webster. Freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. Halls High School. Actually, he's from Powell, Tennessee. High school he attended. Knoxville Halls. I think his mother is a teacher in the school system, and he was able to go to an out-of-district school. 3 balls and no strikes to Luke Lawson, 5'11", 160-pound freshman. Animal science major here at Vol State. He'll have a strike called on the inside corner. Son of Cale and Beth Lawson, the younger brother of Lauren, as a pawpaw in Powell, Tennessee, a Dee Dee and Nana in Knoxville. And that pitch missed somewhere. He will draw a walk. Luke Lawson, this is game number 2 of the fall for him. He's 1 for 1, scored a run, and has an RBI. He played in game 2 last Saturday. Brody Melton stepping to the plate now. Runners at the corners, brought to you by Line to Line. Brody Melton looks at a fastball at the letters for a called strike. Not the time to be showing it off, but Luke Lawson might be one of the fastest Pioneers on the squad. Devin, you seen him run? Nope. I wouldn't bet him any greenbacks that you could beat him. I don't know. You were pretty quick before you had that elbow surgery. A good Tommy John, that'll slow down. That'll slow you down. 2 balls and a strike to Brody Melton. Lifted the ball in the air 3 times today. A fly out to center field. Pop out, and he gets a ground ball in front of head coach Jim McGuire down at third base. Volunteer assistant coach Shane Kemp wearing the hard hat at first base. And new volunteer assistant coach Sam Folks, former pitcher at UT Martin, in the dugout for his first ball game. We have a Full Count Ministries, full count. Some umbrellas still out, but some have been put away, so I've got a full count. Strike 3 called, it doesn't matter. As Melton will go down on strikes. 2 walks in the inning, a single, but a double play kept the Pioneers from scoring in the 4th inning. So the first 0 up on the scoreboard for Vol State. And we are headed to the top of the 5th inning. Pioneers leading 17-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Welcome back to Vol State, where the Pioneers lead 17-0. Move to the top of the 5th inning. Numerous defensive changes, as well as a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for Vol State. Number 32, Connor Paul, left-hander out of Ravenwood High School. He's from Brentwood, Tennessee.
13, Drake Young.
He is the son of Jonathan and Amelie. Amelie. I need to get that from him. Amelie Paul. And the brother to Aiden delivers the first pitch high and wide to Drake Young from Bowling Green, the brother of Addie. Drake flew out to right field. May have been the first pitch he saw, and I didn't get a lot of time to talk about meeting the family before the game. You're welcome to send in a chat, just like Mimi from Gadsden, Alabama has done on YouTube, probably on Twitter. I guess I'd see that as well. A few of you watching on Twitter. Connor Paul walks first batter he faces here in the top of the 5th inning.
Now batting, number 67, Jaden Key.
5th pitcher for the Pioneers today, Connor Paul. There's a pitch in there for a called strike. Connor Paul was the emergency pitcher on Wednesday if needed. Pioneers threw 9 pitchers in 9 innings. Did not need to get to Connor Paul but he was there. This is his first action on the mound for the Pioneers. A two-way player. Has had a couple at-bats. Maybe just one. He's 1 for 1. Had an RBI single, and that was in Game 2, the 22-1 contest. Man at first, and a 1-2 count. He's looking for a ground ball. Slow breaking pitch misses outside. All right, so is that Plummer behind the plate now? So Drew Plummer is our new catcher. Melton has moved from first to third. Connor Paul moves to a full count. Ministries full count. Overbay has moved to shortstop. And Landon Luderman's moved from third to second. Luke Lawson, who came in for Drew Webster, as Connor Paul gets a swing and a miss. We're out number 1. Cooper Wallace now the new center fielder. Stephen Bell still in right. So Lawson, Wallace, and Bell left to right in the outfield. Melton, Overbay, Luderman, and our new first baseman is it Cannon Lewis down there? It is. Cannon Lewis, the DH, has come out and is in the field. Swing and a miss. Ben Howard, the right fielder, steps in. Yeah, it may not be. We might have a pinch hitter here, don't we? They have on their practice jerseys the numbers on the front, which helps if you're the pitcher. It helps us if you're the pitcher, but it doesn't help us. You say number 48 is who?
66.
Or 66, I'm sorry. Truman's his last name? Well, Mr. Truman has a 3-1 count. He is hitting for Ben Howard. Connor Paul delivers, and that pitch is popped up in the infield. Luderman over right fielder Stephen Bell, about 2 steps from the dirt. Comes in from his right field spot and steals a putout from Landon Luderman.
Now batting, number 28, Kellen Thompson.
Bell came a long way for that pop-up. Is it still number 28? Kellen Thompson with 2 out. We do have a pinch hitter on deck. Is it number 8 on his? Waiting for. Yeah, number 8 is on deck, not Bo Barker. Okay, Coleman. Another foul ball. So it is Kellen Thompson, number 28. That is at the plate from Horse Cave, Kentucky. He is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 3rd inning. Nine strikeouts by Pioneer pitching here in 4 2/3 innings. Oh, 2 pitch coming. Runner is not being held, is running on the pitch. Connor Paul thought he might have snuck one in on that outside corner at the knees, but Johnny Lowry not going to oblige. So a stolen base by, I believe that's Drake Young still out there. So still number 13. There's the swing and a miss. And the strikeout that Connor Paul was looking for. So 1 walk in the inning, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Connor Paul has a successful outing, and this might be, that's going to be the end of game 1. So 4.5 inning game 1 as Pioneers defeat the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders 17-0. So we should have a 30-minute break and probably get started around 3:15. Pioneers 17 runs, 17 hits, no errors. It's an error put up there for the Blue Raiders. I don't know what that error was, but that's on the scoreboard if you're here in attendance. Not sure really where that error came across, but successful outings by 5 pitchers for the Pioneers. Only give up 3 walks, but strike out 10 batters, do not give up a run or a hit. So a combined no-hitter for Pioneers here in the 4th game of the fall. Winning pitcher would be Caden Johnson. Losing pitcher, Jacob Jackson. So we'll take a little break. We'll start a new stream here in a little bit. So far, the rain has not been bad for the location. We just had one little bit of a downpour. Didn't last very long, but hopefully the rain will hold off for game 2, another game that will be scheduled for 7 innings. We will see what happens. Thanks for joining us on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube or Twitter. And thanks for the chat. Meany in Gadsden, Alabama. Great to have the Caden Johnson family back. We'll take a break and be back in probably about 25 minutes for game 2. You've been watching and listening to the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter.